Cam every day, dude.
I know. Back. It is.
You seem more handsome than ever.
What's up, CamEveryDay? Just got editing a video, and log on to Facebook and see this. Turok 2 seems to be able to come to Xbox One. I'm trying to talk about this shit, so, you know, I gotta figure out my way to comment down below, but I am going to comment down below on all the people who can remember the big cheat code. Yo. What's up? What's up? What's up? Erik, welcome to the blue room. Oh my god.
Dog's attack.
Alright.
It is. You seem more handsome than ever.
What's up, this video is for March 28th. Monday. What's going on in this video for the most part is a jam, nonetheless. I've got a new studio going out here. I have way more room to jam with other musicians and to record other musicians than I've ever had before. I've always kind of been like a laptop and mouse and speakers kind of guy, and I've always had an interface. I've always loved playing guitar. A lot of my music has been very live, and you know, there's been some songs that are like definite tracks that have evolved from jams. A lot of them, both with Big Chocolate and Disfiguring the Goddess. I'll sit down, play for like, you know, 5-6 minutes, and I'll riff out a tune or some structuring and progressions, and then I'm able to go back, clean it up, re-record, chop, do whatever to you know, kind of produce the session. Now the musician in this video, Erik Phillips, someone I collaborated a lot with last year. Reno guy, I've known him since high school. We've been in bands in high school. Great guitar player, great style. We actually made a bunch of songs together. This is, right here there's 19 beats, you know, and all of them are based off like 6-8 hour sessions. Hardly any revisiting. But you know, just kind of adding to just the body of work we've been creating, because you know, I'm a big fan of just kind of, if you're creating work, it's good, it's productive. If you're having fun and making music, it's productive to the music you actually want to make, even if you're making stuff that's generally not like, you know, with your artist profile, branding, whatever the hell you're doing with your life. And I've been kind of, well, I started jamming with Erik last October, and we kind of got into it for a couple months. We lost our groove as far as both of us being disciplined and getting together and making music. I got busy with my stuff, and he got busy with his life and whatnot. But you know, he still comes back to the studio, and we get it in and whatnot. But we got pretty into recording. We set up this room over here. This used to be the old studio. We have his amp. Well, we first were just using DI, and then he brought over his amp. We started miking his amp. We started getting into pedals. We started experimenting with the pedals. We started experimenting with recording the pedals and recording the amp, and recording a DI out of the pedals, and then, you know, sending a signal also to the amp, recording the amp frequency and all this kind of stuff. And you know, a lot of the songs we've made, which you'll probably hear the light of day of at some point, because there's some great stuff in this little folder. But you know, a lot of it is just a jam, and we just kind of see it through, we zone out, and just kind of go with whatever we're feeling at the time. And it was a great exercise for both of us, just to, like, you know, really just make some music, but also for me to, like, just go through that whole motion of, like, connecting with other musicians and, you know, acknowledging the vibe and pushing through with, you know, progress. And you know, I've optimized my new studio and optimizing it to jam in. I got a new keyboard. I've got 2 inputs on the interface, a slew of guitars and stuff. And the way Erik and I usually work is I do a beat, and he records some guitars and stuff, and I might like bring in a bass or something to like pluck around with, but it's usually done post, you know. But I'm trying to get some more organic jams going, and this is kind of Erik and I's like really first jam together. as far as both of us like tracking a long period of time and trying to riff out random ideas and stuff. And I think it's good to share these things. Not good to share these things. I'm going to be sharing these things because I'm going to be driving the content for CamEveryDay, and some of that content is going to be studio stuff, and you know, hopefully a lot of that studio stuff will be me and other musicians vibing out to either, you know, something I'm working on, like already got established, or something like this where it's just like a fresh jam. You know, he got like a riff in this thing, he's just kind of playing with his pedals and, you know, playing with a couple bass progressions and rhythms and, you know, a couple of little melodies. But for the most part, like, we're rusty. We got in a good groove when we were making tunes left and right, and then we kind of fell off a little bit starting in December, and it's March or April now. So, you know, we're a bit rusty as far as Erik and I. And, you know, the new studio has some learning curves in it as far as, like, getting my chops as a keyboard player. I'm not a keyboard player. I'm a guitar player. And, you know, I'm trying to do some different things around here. I think I'm going to start doing some CamEveryDay videos that might be a bit long formatted, pushing like an hour and a half kind of stuff. And then, you know, your normal shindigs of 5 to 15 minutes or to 20 minutes, depending on how many days I'm cramming into videos. I probably won't be cramming a bunch of videos into one anymore. I might be spacing stuff out more. So if I film over a longer period of time, I'll probably break it up to separate days, or, you know, just space out the content and also focus the content a little more. But you know, I'm gonna try and kind of have it to where it's almost like a podcast, but almost like a jam at the same time. And you never know if we're gonna be jamming something that I could, you know, whip into something special. So yeah, you know, just kind of filling you in on Erik, because I you know, like, I've really been doing myself a disservice with lack of bringing my camera around. But lately I've been really trying to set the stage for my life again, you know, connecting with people more, connecting with myself more, and connecting with music more. And you know, there's some things I needed to do that I couldn't bring a video camera for around, but there's some things I could have done recently where I could totally have been filming stuff, and it's just kind of a shame on me for not bringing my camera. Just a discipline, because the phone doesn't work for me. It's not the same thing filming with a phone. You know, you're holding a phone out, and you only got so much space, and the fisheye is just, you know, it's definitely the CamEveryDay vision. And, you know, the time format, the freedom, and, you know, the platform YouTube is just, you can leave this thing running and just kind of say whatever. But yeah, that's some back, probably too much. I probably talked longer than I did talk way longer than the actual jam. But that's just a little update on Erik and myself. It's too bad I didn't film, you know, after we're done, kind of at the end of our productive phase. Our productive phase was called Big Chocolate Panther. At the end of Big Chocolate Panther, I was like, dude, we should have been filming all of this, because this would have been great memories and stuff just to have, you know. A lot of this stuff is really awesome though. Really raw. This is just one song. This is just one song, bro. This song doesn't hit, but it will. like just the general electronic vibes. Our inspirations are kind of all over the place. Heavy like trip hop, breakbeaty, electronic inspiration. A lot of my subconscious nostalgic inspiration coming through. Moby, Thievery Corporation, 07, Air. The song's 5 minutes long. And they all just vibe and go. Some of this stuff. Shit is so poorly produced, mixed down. I've had some major mixing, mastering revelations since, you know, the last 6 months, and they've been really getting fine-tuned the last month or so. But like, I could open these up and, you know, I could spend a week on this project and it'd probably be dope. But everything requires inspiration and everything requires balance. You know, I'm hustling for an inspired Big Chocolate, you know, just pure Cameron, electronic, no limits, EP. I think about disfiguring the goddess every day. I really need to get that going. Not going, but like, I need the timing to be right and for me to get in that zone, you know? Because that's how disfiguring is. Everything, you know, every project hasn't taken longer than a month and a half. Very focused with disfiguring. So it'll come, my people. You know. But I need to be in a good place. And for me to be in a good place, I gotta be with my people. I gotta be feeling the love. I gotta be putting my vibe out and feeling the vibe of everybody else. Whether that's online or, you know, downtown at the river, staring at someone's face and making eye contact, you know? I need to be in a good place. Move it along. This was the first track Erik and I did where I was like, okay, like, you know, we could keep, like, we made the first track we made was pretty cool, but like, you know, it wasn't something I thought I could run with. This stuff, I'm like, ooh. Again, mixing, but they're demos. I'm purely trying to demo. remember hating this one. I remember just being like, can we stop doing this? I remember stopping Eric multiple times in the session being like, yo, we should stop. Like, are you hearing this? Sometimes you just gotta keep driving though. Just go with the vibe. Learn something. Make something. Do something. I don't know. No stick combo. Oh, this is old. This has a vocal on it. Shout out to Tim Gunston, Timmy G, Reno 775. This was a good one. It's called Traveling with Eric. Remind me of Travel Play. There's all kinds of nice details in these recordings and demos that aren't highlighted with the mix. But like, you know, you gotta get inspired, and sometimes making music with your friends can really be inspiring. This one's great. It's called Tuesday Morning Beat. Kinda got a little connection with this one. Speaks to my soul. Would love to knock this one out of the park. Ooh. Kind of running through them now. But everything's like, you know, very, it's like kind of wannabe analog right now, but we're kind of taking the analog approach. Most of the things are from the Virus or, you know, guitar. Yeah, that's Jamie's shoe. We'll call you back. Guitar. With this thing, we're about to really kick up the analogness, because that has all the UAD plugins. As far as, you know, kind of not just using the plugins, but kind of using the workflow of the UAD stuff. Other conversation. We got all kinds of stuff that I have to go back and listen to every once in a while and be like, damn, I remember this. Because we made like, there's 19 MP3s in this folder. 19. It's probably like, 25 projects, 26 projects. Oh yeah, I remember this one. This one's like Modest Mouse. There's good stuff. This is the first one we ever did. It's called Lame Sunset. Sounds like old Big Chocolate stuff. I can't wait to open these projects back up, you know. I might really be able to give some of these a second wind. Skipped over Frostbeat. This one's one of my favorites. Mainly because it's like, it gives me some really, really fucking deep techno vibes. Right here. That's like the first element, drum-wise, to come in the song, besides the kick. As of now, of course. It's a demo. It's like a one session, one night. All the synths are virus, though. They're probably over-processed in this demo. I know that everything's peaking. Look at that. There's a range, bro. Talking to my old self. Like, old self meaning 4 months ago. Grow every day, people. Right here. Heavy. Groovy. then it kind of turns back into like our intro and shit, which was like some real rocker stuff. Yeah, well, that's a, you know, tasteful of, you know, every time I make music with Erik, I just call it Big Chocolate Panther, because for a while we just had so many demos going on. I was like, dude, we're making a new group. We have a new fucking band, Big Chocolate Panther. But you know, Erik needs to get his ass in here. Real talk. Erik needs to find the inspiration to, you know, lead him or give his life enough balance to where, you know, he needs, not needs, but wants to be here and wants to be, you know, creating music, creating vibrations. I think there's been some serious lack of motivation with Big Chocolate Panther because it's not public, and we literally spent like, you know, quite a bit of time just jamming, and you know, sometimes when someone's like, Erik's never released music, so if you never get that high off of seeing your effects, it might, you know, not that that's your inspiration, but you know, it just adds inspiration. Kind of like the Midways. I got a lot of inspiration from that and knowledge just by putting my stuff out there a little bit. And the track listing for the Midways is so random. Not random, but like everything's so different. I've got so much music on my hard drive right now of, you know, different stuff I've experimented with, and you know, I don't even want to get into it, but like, you know, back to what I was saying earlier is I'm really getting inspired and motivated to write a Big Chocolate EP, and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it now. I got some, you know, a couple tracks I'm writing for it right now that I'm really feeling. So I know my setting the stage for CamEveryDay in my life is going well. I'm surrounding myself with the right people. I'm spending my time doing the right things. You know, I'm keeping everything positive, eating well, you know, loving my fellow man, spreading love with my vibe, staying in the sunshine, staying out of loud environments, not drinking. I don't know. God bless, though. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Back me when I came in.
Both of them?
Yeah.
That's a good dog.
This was a little late on it though.
It's because she's chilling, dude. What do you think of the monitors?
Looking good. Damn.
Yeah.
It fits way better on that table.
What does?
Everything.
Yeah. Feels way better. Only my freaking pedal is the wrong one.
And it doesn't work?
No, I ordered the wrong one.
How do you, like, what about it?
Yeah, fuck you.
What? They just hit him?
Yeah.
They go to bed already?
No, they just watch TV. Alright, I think we got some cool stuff. At least we start to set the tone.